Welcome to Night Sky Wisdom and Tarot. I'm Alex. I'm here to bring you your June 2022 Pisces Sun Moon Rising Venus North Node general energy for the month of June 2022. So if you follow my channel, usually I do timeless reads every week, and they're intended to be more short term. Only once a month do I do these time specific reads. So if you're looking for what June 2022 might look like for you, please check this out, dear Pisces. Welcome cross watchers as well. Also, if you don't mind, please hit that like button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. It's also a great energy exchange for tarot, and it's not required but greatly appreciated. So I'm going to do a Celtic Cross and clarify as necessary to get more detailed information for you. Okay. Spirit, what are the messages for Pisces? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node for June 2022. Remember, this is general, so it can't and won't apply to everyone, but I always encourage you to stick around because there's always some good lessons or wisdom from spirit that may not apply to you right now, but it's good to have in your pocket for anything that might come up. Okay, and this is the last one. Spirit, what are the messages? Thank you. Oh, also, if you don't know, if you're new to my channel, I don't do reversals. As they come out, I read the energy that way if it feels like it should be a reverse energy. I'm an intuitive reader. So there you have it. Somehow my decks always end up mixed up anyway, so that's why I'm flipping cards. Okay. All right, let's see what we have. Pisces, the messages for June 2022. This is your reading. You are currently in a state of planning, looking at your options, actually choosing an option. You may have just recently chosen something, and make in a planning state for a passionate new beginning, something that really speaks to you, something that really opens up a whole new world for you. And it was really driven by this energy of Four of Cups around you. So for the Pisces that I'm reading for, it feels like you're not necessarily in a state of crisis. It's not about, oh, I lost my job, I need another one. Oh, my relationship fell apart, I need to, fix it. Or I'm lonely and I need someone. It's not about a need thing in the sense of meeting a basic need, but this is more about not really feeling the lust or the passion for life right now. So actively making plans to get out of this rut. In the recent past, there's an energy of Six of Pentacles for you for equal give and take. And I think that maybe that's what's missing for you. And it might not be that the job you're working, for example, if it's career related, doesn't pay well. It's that it's not what you're for all the energy and time that you spend with this job or career. You don't feel fed spiritually or passionately for all of the time invested there. It's like it's not repaying you in ways that at the end of the day make the most difference to you overall in life. So for the amount of time you're away from your family, you also need to feel like you're being fed spiritually, not just financially. And it's like wherever you are, whether it's relationship or something else going on here or career, it's like it's just not fulfilling. So when it really started to understand the cost of things in the recent past, like I said, it's not so much about hours versus pay that's exchanged for the time. It's about what I'm missing out on when I'm here. So clearly I'm hearing this more about career. So if it's not, apply it to what your situation is. But if it's about job, I'm spending all this time in this place, and it pays decent, but also what am I missing out on? I'm not with my family. Maybe you have a passion that you like to pursue either on the side, or maybe initially want it to be your primary source of income. It's pulling me away from that. It's pulling me away from the joy in life because I'm miserable while I'm here. Something really has you currently dissatisfied, but you've already, what your dissatisfaction is. Sometimes the Four Cups can be about really not knowing why you feel that way. Even though, you know, like nothing's really tickling your pickle, but you don't understand why. Well, for the Pisces that this reading is for, I feel like you do understand why. And in this specific Four of Cups card, what's standing out to me is that she's being presented a cup that has rainbows coming out of it. It's like most people would say, oh, you have it great. You have it good. Look at how much abundance you have. Look at how much this job pays. Look at all of these external factors. But it doesn't matter what it looks like to everyone else. It doesn't feel good to you. It's not really enhancing you or growing you. You feel kind of stagnant. So herein lies the issue. And it shows in the near future, you do kind of go into a place of retreat or rest, but also Four of Swords can indicate burnout. You're resting and retreating because all of your energy has been drained from you enduring a situation that is, like I said, maybe positively affecting your bank account and negatively affecting your spiritual and energetic bank account. Underlying energy, Five of Wands. Now, this could be looked at in two different ways. Usually, I view Five of Wands as the voices in your head at competition with each other. So you have your spiritual voice, right? You have your physical voice about what needs your physical needs. You have that voice of fear. You have that voice of hope. You have that voice of ambition. You have that voice of social constructs and expectations. So all of these voices inside are battling with which one is going to come out on top for you. And so what may be happening is it's interfering with your planning phase to get into a more sound, stable environment that feeds all of your needs, your spiritual and your physical needs. But I feel this is a hindrance. And it's actually part of what may contribute to the burnout. You are discovering. Okay, I'm sorry. So it's summer break and the kids are out, but we have clear instructions about when mommy is meditating or reading or whatever, and they chose to ignore those instructions. So I had to go do the mommy thing. I'm back. I apologize for the interruption. We're working out the kinks of this process. Moon energy. So overall for the month of June, what you're being encouraged to do, or what your overall theme is really discovering the things that are making you dissatisfied with life. That have you in a state of dissatisfaction. The things that on the outside appear good, but when you really get down to it, they're really not feeding your needs. I really feel this is a strong career reading for you, Pisces. Did I say Gemini? If I did, I apologize. Pisces, this is a strong this is a strong career reading for you. I'm feeling for most of you. And it's like, you know, the moon is really about what lies beneath the surface, which further confirms the fact that, yes, there may be rainbows and sparkles and gold coins shooting up out of this situation. And yeah, other people would kill for the job that I have or kill for the opportunity that I have, but it's not feeding me. So does it matter what other people would do if it's not my thing, if it's not fitting me and meeting my needs? And so the overall theme for June is really accepting the fact that people aren't going to understand it. It isn't going to make sense to them. But the thing is, you understand that for you, it's causing friction, it's causing stress, and really uncovering the fact that the things that, you know, quote unquote should be making you happy are really not, because they're not intended for you. They aren't your vision. They aren't your dream. And there's this back and forth in June between your inner voices and that fear factor, and you kind of really accepting the fact that, hey, you know, I need to plan for what my vision is. First of all, let me choose what my vision is and be clear about it. And that's the present energy you're in now. But also, furthermore, let me accept the fact that while I may have what others want, if it doesn't fit me, I'm not obligated to stay in this position just because somebody else would want to be in it. It's not disrespectful. It's not unappreciative, and it's not grateful. And a lot of times we're fed that narrative that we're being unappreciative if we don't just accept something because other people would want it. So this makes so much sense. How you see yourself right now, you are in a state of planning and making a decision. You have a lot of options in front of you, which is a blessing, but also it could be a little bit of a, almost a setback in some ways, because it's not that you have a lack of choice or decision on how to move forward. It's that there's so many cups in front of you that, again, it could be a self-deceptive thing about you picking something based off of what other people would want. So I'm strongly getting in this message about you. Yes, you do have options, and it's good that you know that, but also try to leave a lot of that old programming out of the decision-making process about how you move forward. How others view you. 7 of Wands. Yes, you are being very, very much trying to find your center and find your peace and what brings you that peace in the midst of all this noise. You're also being very protective about that peace and about the decisions that you're making right now. So you may give off a little bit of an energy of defensiveness. But the thing is, I am strongly hearing, don't change that, don't address that, don't try to adjust that. In some states, yes, I would say, hey, be careful. You're coming across a little closed off, but that's not the energy I'm getting. I feel like you're coming across defensive because people are not used to you being protective of your space, Pisces. You might be a person that's usually open up to people's opinions, people's ideas about how you should do things, people's opinions about what the best thing for you is. So those people may very well interpret it as defensive, but Spirit is saying you are not, and don't fall for it. Don't adjust that at all, because this is going to help you get to that space of figuring out, or getting to where you want to be if you already know where it is, or figuring out what it is that really speaks to you. Your advice is to celebrate, or to surround yourself with those who celebrate you and support you, okay, during this time. If you know you have a judgmental aunt and it's not of a requirement for you to be around that judgmental aunt right now, or you don't need to be having extended conversations with that judgmental aunt, don't. Make the conversation short. Check on them. I love you. All right, gotta go. Oh, somebody's calling me. Get off the phone. Don't subject yourself to people who don't celebrate you, who don't embrace you in totality. In this 3 of Cups, it's almost like they're viewing the stars. And each of them are viewing their version of what the star is, but they're not interfering with the other person's point of view. They're just embracing each other, enjoying the moment, while each person has their eye on their specific star or view of the constellations. This is what you need. People around you who will dream with you, embrace your dreams. Let me turn this music down a little bit. And support your dreams without quelling, trying to adjust, trying to talk you out of, trying to instill fear. I'm trying to turn this down. So you're saying that's very important, because the expectation is that not that you all of a sudden become a different person. So if you're very sensitive and the people that matter a lot to you, if their opinions affect you, it is what it is. You're not expected to all of a sudden become this hardcore person. Everyone loves to give off this unbothered energy, but a lot of times it's just not true. And pretending that you're unbothered is just really delaying your process of evolution, of awakening, of advancement, because it's most of the time, most people who pretend to be unbothered are really so much bothered they're avoidant. And they don't know the difference. So you're being asked to not pretend to be something you're not, but don't force yourself to engage with people or hear other people's opinions, because they do affect you. Stick to those who support your unaltered version of your dreams, or the version of you right now that doesn't know what that is. Potential outcome, 10 of Wands. I'm strongly feeling this is you finally putting down that burden and lightening that load. Finding a place, finding out who these wands belong to. See, in this 10 of Wands card, she is on a journey and she has a lot of baggage with her. Bag lady Erykah Badu. That's what she's on, right? But I strongly get in this outcome for you for June 2022, you're on a journey of figuring out, okay, let me go retrace my path and see who these burdens belong to. And I'm going to leave it with them. Who told me I had to work in corporate America? Go to school, go to grad school, work in corporate America, earn my money, be happy. That was my father. Let me backtrack to my father. Hey, Dad, this is your version of the truth, not mine. Here goes your wands. Who told me that working YouTube, working owning a hair business, whatever it is oversaturated. It's not a real dream. It's not a real business. And I need to have a real job because that's the only way I'm really going to have stability. That was my sister. Hey, sister, here's your wands. Now I'm down 2 wands. Now let's see where some of these other wands go. So this is about you redistributing the wands back where they belong, and maybe not literally having these conversations, but taking that journey internally, and in some way, even if it's just a ritual, a prayer, writing it down, coming to terms with where you got these ideals from that don't fit you, where you got the ones that do. You decide which ones to hold on to, and the rest you give them back figuratively to the people they belong to and say, hey, I understand and I appreciate and I respect your version of this truth, but it is not mine. So let's do some clarifying. This 6 of Pentacles in the recent past. Let's see what this energy is. I think that, again, this is when you realize that there was more to equal give and take than just time versus pay. And more than just exchanging time for money. Can we clarify this 6 of Pentacles in the recent past for Pisces spirit? One more. Ten of Pentacles, Page of Wands, King of Wands. Something that inspired you, you really realized could turn out to be a full-fledged career choice and provide stability for you. But it started off as something small. And then as you thought on this idea more and more, it grew into this King of Wands energy, which I think is what contributed to the realization of finally, I need to change course, because where I am right now doesn't fit any of this. And yeah, the pentacles may be there, but this part is what's missing. So it made you realize that what felt like equal give and take, maybe when you first took the job, because when things are new, and what's new could be, that's relative to you. It could be a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It still be new. Because people work jobs sometimes 10, 15, 20, 35 years, right? But when it's relatively new, it all feels wonderful. And oh, this boss is great. And oh, this pay is great. And oh, I'm glad I'm here. But when that newness wears off is when you start to uncover the underbelly of the fact of how it maybe never really fit the bill completely. But it provided you some stability and something new to aspire to and to do. But it never was the thing for you. So you want the pentacles and the passion. Period, point blank. Let's clarify this underlying energy of 5 of Wands. Let me restart. What's this 5 of Wands in the subconscious energy for Pisces for June 2022? Because again, I usually see 5 of Wands as more internal, but also it's just chatter, right? It's not full out arguments or fights. It could be people around you with like all these different opinions about what you should be doing that's actually seeping into your subconscious and creating an inner conflict. But let's see. Page of Swords, High Priestess, and the Hierophant. Whoa. I really do feel, yeah, this is the source of your inner conflict. Okay? And let me explain. Sorry, we're a little off balance here. And it's bothering me. Okay, let me explain. With this inner conflict, again, this is the things that are creating that hesitation for you to go for what you know, and you might not even realize that it is, but it's old programming. The High Priestess and the Hierophant, I'm feeling like this is heavily pointing to the fact that there's some figure or figures in your life of formal official status. So it could be a mother, a grandmother, a boss, something, some kind of guru, somebody that's always told you that this is the way to do things. And what you're realizing is it doesn't really fit with who you are. And it's like you're feeling that energy of them kind of looking at you in not disbelief, disapproval. That's the word I'm looking for. But the thing is, Spirit's saying that this is just in your head. Like, I'm really hearing that even these people who have so much position and power and authority in your life, I think that you are projecting your fears onto them, because this is feeling more like this is your assumption, not the reality. That they're going to look at you kind of like, what is he or she doing? What are they doing? And it's creating all this chatter in your mind that isn't necessary. Whether they do or they don't disapprove, the reality is if you're not happy, Pisces, you're not happy. And you cannot spend most of your time letting what other people might say, do, or think, or feel slow you down. I know it's easier said than done, but the reality is if you stay in position a year from now to keep somebody else happy, what does that leave you? Regardless of whether they actually will disapprove or not. Especially if you're an adult and these people don't provide any kind of financial stability, or it's not like you're going to lose a source of income. It's just, it's their opinions and approval. What do we want to clarify? What are these options that you're looking at? Because Spirit is saying, again, don't take old programming into these new options, because what you'll do is end up selecting something to recreate a situation that you're in now, where it looks good on the front end, it feels good on the front end. When the newness wears off, you're realizing it wasn't the best choice for you, even though it may not have been necessarily a bad choice. Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. I am strongly hearing from this. Choose based off of your heart space. Whatever speaks to your heart space first. I do read things sequentially or chronologically as well, because it gives me a better story about what Spirit is trying to say. It gives me a storyline. So when choosing your options, from your options about where you're going to go next to find fulfillment in this workspace or whatever this is, choose with your heart first. Okay? With an open heart and your intuition, follow what speaks to you. From this page energy, I heavily get more energy being gifted to you than you necessarily gifting something to somewhere else, if that makes sense, right? This is like when Spirit talks to you and pulls at you and it speaks to your heart space. That's what should lead you into your next opportunity. And this is how you decipher whether or not you're making the right decision or planning for the right goal, to help kind of quiet this Five of Wands going on within you. The money may not be the same as where you're coming from, but with these two things combined, it will elevate you into this Queen of Pentacles energy, and the money will come. The position and title and authority will come. But you're first looking at Page of Cups energy and making sure Page of Pentacles that it's enough to get you started. and it will elevate you into Queen of Pentacles energy. But don't look for this first, because if you do the reverse, you'll find yourself in the same position again, where it might look great to everyone on the outside looking in. But what provides you financial abundance, it doesn't even feel like it's worth it because it barely speaks to your heart space. You need to decide. You're being encouraged to use your intuition and your heart space to make a decision. Let's see. Let's clarify this Three of Cups, because that's really the advice also from Spirit as far as to what can help you through this time period in June with these transitions. I'm also hearing you don't have to tell everybody, Pisces. Everybody doesn't need to know your plans. Sometimes it's a comfort thing, or you almost subconsciously look for people to talk you out of things. By telling people you know will always give you the devil's advocate response. Stay away from that, or you're going to limit yourself. Stick to those who do not question the validity of your dreams. They only wish to support you and to share theirs with you as well. Three of Cups. But let's get more clarification on that from Spirit. The Sun, Five of Cups, Page of Pentacles. Yeah. People who you can share your what makes you happy. You can share your happiest of times and your worst of times, Five of Cups, and your visions and what you're going for in the future, what you're trying to build towards. Only allow those types of people free reign to have conversation or to speak life into you. Right now is not the time in June for you to really be hearing the devil's advocate point of view. It's really not, because you already know. You already know. There's enough of that. And I, again, am highly getting the message that you do care about certain people in your environment and what they say or think. So you tend to adjust or hold back out of fear of disappointing them. You don't need to even let everybody, I'm not saying lie, and Spirit is not saying lie, but everybody doesn't need to know everything, and everybody doesn't need to be allowed an opinion at this time, Pisces. I'm clarifying the Ten of Wands as the outcome. Again, you are redistributing these wands back out, which requires you to retrace your steps and figure out where did you pick some of these wands up at? Ideals, beliefs, limitations, restrictions. You need to take a mental journey. And in June, you find yourself realizing where a lot of this came from. And that's why it's so important to protect your energy, because sometimes when you're in the midst of it, you can't see it. You can't understand something until you take a step back from it. So this isn't about cutting people off. It's just about limiting their access and their input. And it'll be all that much clearer to why you've restricted yourself up until this point. And June really has you coming out with a refreshed, renewed sense of mind, because you are, again, redistributing some of these false narratives and beliefs back to their owner. Return to sender. Chariot. Queen of Wands. Five of Pentacles. Spirit is saying, okay, so once you do this, it allows things to take off for you, for opportunities to come in that you really never, beyond what you're expecting. But you have to show yourself in true form. I'm feeling that's you. Queen of Wands is not a Pisces card. However, it is the energy that the particular Pisces I'm talking to embodies. And remember, in this recent past, you realize that what you do have and what you're involved in is not equal give and take. It's not feeding you on all levels appropriately. You had the King of Wands energy, right? So now, as representative of what it is that you want, what is required. You need the Pentacles and the Passion. Well, here's the counterpart, which is the Queen of Wands and the outcome. So the quicker you let go of some of these things and these narratives that don't belong to you and realize that this was based off of people who told me this advice based off of their situation, which in a lot of cases might have been 20, 30, 40 years ago. Things are different now. Social media is a valid source of income. It's a business to be grown. There are analytics for you to grow businesses. There is proof of life with social media. There's always work to be done no matter what the job is that you want, and there's always risk involved. But things that have been written off, you're writing off based off of other people's either inexperience or fear of the situation. You stepping into your power is very soon after realizing, I respect and I understand why they think that way, but that is not my burden to carry. Spirit is saying you may have some people that go into victim mode. Five of Pentacles is about the feeling of being left out in the cold, not the reality of it. And they're not used, especially if it's people that you consult with or have consulted with in the past, or whose opinion you have taken to heart and actually acted on in the past. And now it's like you're kind of withdrawing because this is about you and your spiritual growth and your financial growth. And you need that step back to make this decision on your own. You're going to have some people, especially the ones that are in that Three of Cups energy, who aren't coming with you on that journey, that are going to have this, oh, woe is me attitude. But they will understand and realize that they still have access to you if they need you. They're not left out in the cold. They're just not included in this decision-making process. Spirit's saying, do not let that become another burden you have exchanged for the ones you're putting down, okay? So, I'll do a Soul's Journey Oracle card, and then that is your energy reading for June. But let's see what we get from the Oracle cards. Spirit, what's a good message, overall message for Pisces for June 2022? Pisces for June 2022. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. For a lot of you, I feel like there's not a sense of shame about what it is you want to do, but relative to other people's thoughts. How do I make this make sense? It's not like you're overall doing anything negative, anything bad, anything that is deemed will bring shame upon your family, okay? But what it is that there's a very old school way of thinking about what real work is and real accomplishment is. And I feel that a lot of you, what your view of success and fulfillment are, don't really meet that standard. And Spirit is encouraging you to take pride in what you do, no matter how somebody else values it, okay? I'm going to read the extended version. You need to take time to honor and acknowledge who you are and what your soul has accomplished with your life thus far. You should look at your past soul choices and be mindful of how through your positive actions, compassion, and understanding, you have made a better life for yourself and others. How have you changed the world in some little way? How have you shared insights with others? Reflect on what you have mastered. You should never underappreciate or underestimate yourself or your accomplishments. Now is the time for you to remember how brave you have been throughout your journey. Celebration is required. Humans tend to spend too much of their energy and time on negative emotions or what they have not done. This card signifies that you should take rightful ownership of who you are and how you have shared your unique light. Emphasis on unique, that's on my part. Your unique light with the world. It may also be a perfect time for you to look around and acknowledge those other souls who have also accomplished many great things and who need to be reminded of them, which I feel in this Three of Cups energy is some of those people who are your soul family, who understand and need the same encouragement and push you do. So I hope this helps. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Pisces, love you. Bye.